Hey, welcome. It's Captain Matt, Boater Secret Weapon. I want to thank you for joining us for this Sunday night live. We're getting ready to start here in just a couple of minutes here. We'll start about 8:30, but I wanted to welcome you. If you've never been to a live, here's what you can expect. Just go ahead and chat in your comment section, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube. Just ask your question, leave your comment there, and then as we go through the time, I just kind of scroll down all the comments and I try to answer them. Now, if it's something that I need to ask you a question, I may ask you a question and just put it in the chat again, and I'll come back and I'll get that information so I can give you a more personalized response, something that's going to really add value for you. This is just something I do. One, it's great fun. I really enjoy it. It's helpful for the community. Just sharing my knowledge. Now, one thing that you need to know, I don't know everything about boats. I know a lot about boats. I've been a boater since I was 5. I've sold boats. It's something that is a big part of my life. With that said, I don't know everything. Matter of fact, sailboats, have zero experience with sailboats. Bass boats, very little experience there. Bow riders, deck boats, center consoles, jet boats, twin engines, stern drives, outboards, inboards, all of that I have experience with. And if I have an answer, I'll give you my best answer. If I don't have an answer, I'll try to give you a resource that will be valuable for you. If I have an opinion, I'll try to give you that opinion, but let you know this is what I think, not what I absolutely know. So I look forward to it. Here's a little video intro that a subscriber made for me. Thanks, Bo. And we'll see you on the live when it kicks off here in just a moment. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. I apologize about missing last week. It was, I forgot, it was my daughter's birthday party, and we were doing an escape room and doing dinner, hibachi. And so the night went a little longer than I had planned, and wasn't able to get on the live. So thanks for joining us here for the first one of 2024. And yeah, I think this will be starting our third year, which is crazy. So appreciate all the regular sustainability. Happy New Year. Got back cruising 138,000 ton ship. I think I drank and ate too much. Even ice skated on a little cruise action. Currently minus 11 degrees, on its way to minus 16. Should have stayed a few more days in Florida. Yeah, it's not that chilly here, but I saw a picture from back home in Nebraska, where I grew up, and it was an elementary school, and the snow was up about halfway up the door that they had dug out. My daughter couldn't believe they went to school in that. So -9 there for Ray in Indiana. Zan, welcome, first timer. Glad to have you here. Always good to have some new faces in the mix. Let's see here. My internet is showing really low, so hopefully we'll be okay. Rob, good to have you back. Another regular. Ray, welcome everybody. Jerry from Chesapeake area with his 28 Regal. Welcome, good to have you. Happy New Year. Jason, our 211 on Lake Cumberland in his 248 Commander. Snowing here. Yeah, snowing there. Key West on vacation. Keys are, yes. That is year round there. Zan from Georgia. Hey, let us know if you're in the Atlanta area. If you made it to the Atlanta Boat Show, we'd love to hear how that was. That's usually one of the bigger shows put on by boating industry, or Discover Boating, I guess, which is the marketing arm for boating, the boating industry. They take money from every brand new engine that's built, certain dollar per horsepower. So whatever the horse, like, a 9.9 to a 25, they might get $10. If you've got a 600 Mercury, they might get 75 or $100 from that. So they've got a millions and millions of dollar budget. One of the things they do with that is they put on boat shows around the country, for the dealers to promote boating. They do marketing, they do education, they do all sorts of stuff. And Atlanta is one of their big shows. They also had Chicago going. That was this weekend. They do a bunch of them. They've got like 12 to 14. Some of them have shut down. So would love to hear about that if you went. 19 degrees there in Kentucky. I don't know what it was here today, but I took my daughters. We were running around. My wife has been a little under the weather for the last, really since New Year's, since Christmas, been on and off sick. And so I took my girls out running around, and we ended up getting some tennis rackets and going to play tennis in the cold wind. It was probably like maybe mid 30s, low 40s, but wasn't in the negatives for sure. Garland Moore, welcome. That's a new name I don't reckon. If you don't want to handle the helm, how large of a yacht to have a captain? And speaking of, this is the birthday girl that we were escape rooming and eating hibachi the other day. So you want to say Happy New Year to everybody?
Happy New Year.
Oh.
Even though that was 14 days ago.
Yeah, this is the first one since the new year, though. So it's my first time saying Happy New Year, everybody. So before this, we were in bed snuggling, watching High School Musical 2. So
I've never seen it.
That's right. Let me answer this question, all right?
Can I?
Yeah. If you don't want to handle the helm, how large of a yacht to have a captain?
75 feet.
There you go. It's really, you can hire a captain to run a 24-foot runabout. It's not really about the size. So as long as they have one of these, this is my my Merchant Marine captain's license. That I'm a 25-ton master. So you could technically hire me, and I could run any boat for hire. I can get paid, and I'm a master. So that means I can run up to a 25 passenger vessel. It's got to be inspected if it's over 6. But if you just want to hire somebody, like, it's not uncommon for somebody with a 30 to 40 foot cruiser to say, hey, I would rather have somebody else run this for me. It's certainly not uncommon for if you're entertaining and you just don't want to have to be running the helm. So that would be super common for a captain. It's not something I do, really. I have people reach out because of this channel and because of the training that I do, that I get asked to do certain things. Like I had a couple reached out and wanted me to run a pontoon. They just wanted to go out and look at houses on the lake, and they wanted somebody that knew the lake to run the boat, kind of point out some stuff. Hey, speaking of, can you go fill this up for me, please? No. Thank you. So that would be something that in a lot of areas is common for a boat that you're buying. Usually, if it's over 30 feet and you've never run a boat that big, and you're going up more than 10 feet, the insurance company will actually require you to hire a captain to run the boat. So let me know if that was just kind of a general curiosity question. That's cool. Hopefully I answered it for you. If there's a specific situation in your head or that you're thinking about or getting into, let me know and I'll try to provide some more answers there. You just fill it. Go down to the go down to the kitchen and get it out of the fridge so it's cold. Put some ice in it, please. Go. Don't be a knucklehead. Do it right, please.
I'm putting ice in it.
I know, but get we've got a ton of new construction in our area, and so they're always tapping the pipes, so we get this weird black stuff in our water that I don't like to. I'll drink it some, but out of the tap, there's like little stuff floating in it. But anyway, that's beside the point. -10 in Chicago Boat Show, exciting. Yeah, that's one that I would love to get to the Chicago show, but I haven't. It's during basketball season. I coach. My youngest is a basketball player, so we had a game Saturday, practice on Wednesday. So it's tough to make some of the out of town boat shows, but those are on the list. That one's on the list specifically. Boat show season starting soon. Chesapeake show end of January. Timonium, I think I'm saying that right. Maryland up next. Spring Annapolis in mid-April. Yeah, no, in January the let's see, New York boat show is happening. The Charleston, South Carolina boat show is happening. Last year I had a list of the boat shows up that I could reference. I didn't do that this year. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of boat shows that are around. Starting this weekend was the first of them, and then through April, the Spring Annapolis show is one of the last ones. You know, you get to like the first week or two of April, and then boat shows wind down, and you get into just regular selling season. Got married today at the lake. Maybe a pick incoming. Well, I will open up my email box. Congratulations. She married you after you broke her butt bone. That's good. If you haven't been on the lives a bunch, last year Jason getting to learn his Sea Pro hit a rough wave, and his fiance at the time landed on her tailbone and bruised it up pretty good. So she still said yes. That was good. She's been on here a couple of times, and Jason's really good about sending some pictures. So I'll be on the lookout for that, Jason. I'll have to pull it up. One of my screens shut off for whatever reason. So yeah, congrats about that. Most prices at Chicago were more than 20% off MSRP. Yeah, if you guys go to shows, I would love to see or hear just kind of an update of what you're seeing price wise, what discounts are, if you're having conversations, what the kind of the mood of the dealers are. Any pricing stickers, if you want to send them my way, always appreciated, so that we can pass that along. I did a market update back. In let's see here, what was that? Two weeks ago. So did a market update 2 weeks ago about what I'm seeing and what I've seen. Thank you, babe. I appreciate it. You do it right.
Yes. You know what? Do you think this can be removed?
I don't know. Probably. Don't do it though. Oh, okay.
It's a magnet.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. This one is is our funny one, and she likes to do practical jokes, and she'll do most anything for a laugh, and so you got to keep your eye on her. You got to watch out.
Well, I kind of didn't do it right. I kind of filled up the sink water in the bathroom, and then kind of just emptied some out and put some ice in it. It's the water. You're fine.
Thanks, baby. I appreciate it. All right, go finish watching your movie. All right, thank you. I love you. Shut the door. So anyway, yes, I would love to see that. Thank you, TC, for sharing. And that TC, that's a new name as well. Welcome to the channel. A new name that I have not seen before. What about Yamaha new motor debuting? You know, I've seen a couple of things. So they're introducing a new 350 and potentially a new V8. So I don't know. The V8, what I've seen is that it's going to be a 400, and but they also, I have seen, and I want to say it might have been sustainability. Hang on one second. My dog wants to get out here. They also, Yamaha has a hydrogen outboard that there's been some talk of, but I think the new release on the 17th is going to be the 350 and a 400 V8. The 350 is a V6, the 400's a V8 from what I'm hearing. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. But there's also in the back of my mind, there's that hydrogen engine that's out there that could be. So but it'll be interesting to see. Let me see. Yamaha hydrogen outboard. What the heck is going on here? Yamaha hydrogen outboard. Okay, so that, I guess that was on December 7th, and that was pleased to announce it'll be exhibiting the okay, so that was the prototype, and they're exhibiting that at the Miami Boat Show. So that's probably not going to be what it is, but that would be interesting. I think I don't know how the hydrogen engines work, but it seems to me that could be an easier switch over than electric. In the back of my mind, it seems, I don't know anything about the safety of it though. I don't know anything about the safety of it. That seems like an interesting concept because the exhaust is water. So anyway, now you guys can't see anything that I'm doing here. I'm all worried about that you're seeing stuff on my screen that because I have my email up there. But anyway, this is the market update that was from 2 weeks ago and the hydrogen. But I think what it's going to be is Yamaha V6 and V8 outboard. Let's see when those were. Yeah, I don't think these have been updated for a while. The 225, 250, 300, and I think they might throw the 350 in the V6. But that's what my gut tells me. That's what my gut tells me it's going to be. But I don't have any inside information on that 211. Went to Discover Boating Atlanta Boat Show this Friday. Wonderful time, beautiful boats, awesome. They usually do a great job. I remember I used to go down there to shop the competition. So our show in Charlotte, where I'm from, our show is mid-February, usually Valentine's Day weekend, somewhere in that time period. And I was going to go down there one year, and they had this big tank for. They were doing cable wake surfing on it. They were promoting wake surfing. They at the Discover Boating shows, they usually have some big draw because they want to not just help the dealer sell boats. They also want to attract people into the boating world. And so we're doing that, but the glass somehow broke and it flooded the whole convention center, and the show got shut down because everything got flooded away. All the dealers' booths got ruined, and it was a mess. But yeah, that's a really good show. A lot of good dealers down in the Atlanta area. Will you be at the Greenville Boat Show? Need to bring you some. Hey, Robert, I stopped in there and asked about you the other day. So Robert is a manager, a regional district. I don't know what the right term is there, but has like a bunch of stores under him. One of them is the one near me where I live. And he recognized me one day, and it happens to be my daughter's favorite burger place. That's where they always want to go. They love the burgers, and they really, really, really love the ranch. They make a homemade ranch there that my daughter's like, they can't get enough of it. And so at the Charlotte show, Robert was nice enough to give us a stack of free burger coupons. And if I make it to Greenville, now he's down in Greenville, and they're opening a bunch of new stores and a bunch of new markets down there. And so he had joined the boat club up here, the Destination Boat Club. And what's his name? That runs that? Anyway, Destination Boat Club does a great job here. They run it out of the old marina I used to work at. So yeah, I will let you know if I make it to Greenville. Again, it's basketball season, so on Saturdays I've got basketball. If I could make it down on a Sunday, if it's long enough, that would probably be the be when I make it down. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Thanks for the offer. Uh, Happy birthday, little captain. Oh, that's funny. Um, let's see here. I hired a captain to bring me in our new Regal. Yeah, that's a perfect situation. Is hey, it's and Jerry had a boat before, so it's not like he hadn't run one, but I think you did. But either way, when you get to some bigger boats or newer water, even that, like even hiring a captain to show you the sunken jetties at high tide, to show you where everybody tears up their prop and their skeg, to show you the right path to go through an inlet. There's a lot of reasons why a local captain can be incredibly valuable. Yeah, doing something like that, you're going to learn because you're going to be in real life situations where you operate, and you're going to learn some things that you probably, you either, hopefully, you don't run into them, or you're going to learn the hard and expensive way. And so sometimes hiring a captain can just be a smart financial decision, let alone make everything about your boating lifestyle in your local area more relaxing, because you know where all the danger zones are, you know where some of the inside intel that will maybe take you a season or two or three to learn, and that can be super helpful. Insult investor, welcome. Yes, city tap water equals no. Yeah, especially in some areas, it's worse than what we have. Welcome, insult investor. I've seen you in the comments a few times here and there, so welcome to the community. Paul, welcome to the community. Showing up on Facebook. Good to have some Facebook folks here. Bennington 25, 28% off MSRP. Yeah, there are a lot of high horsepower pontoons on the market right now. There's two areas where I'm seeing a lot of there's three areas really. The higher end, real high horsepower pontoons. I'm talking the over 125, 140,000. Seems to be quite a few of those. There seems to be quite a few wake boats on the market today, and there's a lot of the value boats. So the more entry level type brands. That's kind of what I'm seeing in the market overall. So one of the things that I do is that just throughout the country, I'll pick some random dealers and I'll look at their inventory levels and see where they're at. And those are three areas where if you're looking, find a great dealer, and there's likely opportunity for negotiating even past their discount that they're showing. Although at the boat show, my guess is a lot of these dealers are putting real close to their best foot forward because they're getting nervous. They want to move these boats now because the interest and curtailment payments are eating them up and starting to I don't want to say cause financial distress, but starting to hurt a little bit more. And now they're not really going to start bringing in money until April, May is when they really start moving inventory and the cash flow starts rolling. Because right now they're not doing a ton of service in most areas, and the new boats haven't started selling. Even what they sell at the boat show really isn't gonna fund and deliver until February, March ish, maybe into April. So did she put you up to the bathtub? She was one of the videographers in the bathtub boating. Her and my oldest helped with videography, but she was the let's see here if I can find it. That's funny. Yeah, the bathtub boating, a little out of character for me, but let's see the shorts. This is my favorite. She's the one that I don't know if you can. That line, I'm having fun. That's just one that she just made up on the spot, and she wanted to do the leaning and the bouncing. That's my oldest. She's a little bit more serious. But yeah, the bathtub was me just being like, I need to find something goofy to do. Try out sports. If you haven't seen that one, this is it. But that was just some goofy stuff that the girls helped me with. Let me shut that off here. So, but yeah, she is not. Um, yeah, that came from some brainstorming we did. We went to grab some ice cream, and my girls and I brainstormed a bunch of ideas. I'm not sure whose idea that one was, but both of them were involved in the brainstorming for that too. Saw the same thing at the Atlanta Boat Show. Discounts that were hard to believe. Yeah, it's the market is swinging, and if you're looking at buying now, there's some great opportunities for sure. Driving the lake to the Florida Keys, every boat dealer was passed along the way had lots of overflowing, new and used boats for sale. Yeah, Florida, the Northeast is another area, like regionally, South Florida and the Northeast. That I'm not sure if it slowed down more or if they just were more aggressive in what they ordered. That could have been it. So, Kings of the City, welcome. Good to have you. That's why I came here tonight. Really believe what they're offering. Yes, yeah, for sure. And here's why, Zan, is at the boat show, they've got the opportunity to unload some of the 23s. They might have 24s sitting in shrink wrap at the dealership. Maybe they brought some 24s if they have a new model change or something like that, or they wanted to show the 24s and then they were selling to the 23s that were in the showroom. It depends. Every dealer approaches that a little bit different, but they 100% absolutely are offering bigger discounts as a dealer, and then the manufacturers are throwing money in as well. Here's why, and I talk about this in my market update, but so the manufacturers, they start selling their 25 model slots in like June, July. They start like talking to the dealers, but by August, the dealers need to have their orders in for 25s. And the manufacturers know if we don't move these 23s, our 25 orders are going to be just in the toilet. And actually, in the boat buyers market update, I go through the financials of dealers, publicly traded dealers, so Marine Max, One Water, and I go through publicly traded manufacturers, so Brunswick, Malibu, which is Malibu and Cobalt, as well as Marine Products, which is Chaparral Robalo, and it's like it's really interesting to see the trajectory of their profit and their revenue, and you can see those interest expenses that were practically nothing 3 years ago on the dealer side just shot up through the roof, like 5, 6, 7, 10 times, depending on who you're looking at. So those offers are legit. Now the reality is will they offer them at the boat show? Yeah, everything but the manufacturer rebates. The manufacturers may actually pull that money away and that may be gone, but the dealers are going to offer discounts. Those dealer discounts are going to be pretty darn close until you get to April, May. Because once you hit in season, now the demand has gone up. And people that are buying boats in May, June, July, they're buying a boat to get on the water. Do they still want the discounts? Of course they do, but they'll scale back some of those discounts because now an 85-degree day in May in most parts of the country will trigger buyer demand. It happens all the time because even though there's economic issues that are out there for some, if you got money, you got money. And if you got money, you might want to spend it on a boat and you're not so concerned about the macro economy you're concerned about the microeconomy in your household. And it happens all the time that in terrible economies, wealthy people are spending money because there's price discounts. Let me plug in because I just saw my. You can see I'm off my live game. My setup's not working. I got a screen out. I didn't have my computer plugged in. I'm all a mess. But anyway, so that's what happens when we start to get to the it's really interesting. It's that second nice day or the second nice weekend day that the dealership starts getting foot traffic. The first one, everybody's getting their summer stuff ready. So they're getting the lawn maintenance that they need to do. They're switching over from winter to summer and they're doing the housework. Maybe they're at their lake house getting that ready. The second warm summer weekend, if you're considering a boat, you're in the dealership and it's like a switch turns on and traffic starts walking into the dealership. So that can pull back some of the discounts. And then when the manufacturers pull their rebates, they're truly taking away from the dealers and they're no longer available. And what they're doing is they're monitoring the overall inventory level because they know what boats have been sold and what haven't because of warranty registrations, and they'll adjust their rebate approach accordingly. Hopefully I explained that right. Compared to Cowling, it did look like the V6 platform used the 250, 300. Maybe some slight tweaks. There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them where, as a matter of fact, I recorded some videos last weekend with a technician from California. So he's got they only sell ethanol in California. I don't know if we got any California people there. Hang on one second. But they only sell ethanol there. So if I'm going to check something real quick. I got something happening that I want to check out before I keep going. But so anyway, he does a fuel injection. He does a lot of fuel injection. He does a lot of fuel injection work because they crap out on them all the time because they're running ethanol. And if you've watched some of my ethanol videos, some of the videos that what is going on here? Some of the videos that Aaron at Born Again Boating has done. Let me know if anything starts crazy happening in the comments, and I will put a stop to it. I got a sense something's going to start happening soon. But anyway, I invited him on, and he was talking about the different engines, how they're very similar, and it's just a tuning of the computer and adjusting of the computer. The block is the same. The engine itself is the same. It's just the computer that's releasing more horsepower than others. So, and I think that's been pretty common for Mercury, Yamaha, for all of them for a number of years. Sent you a pic. Okay, Michaela, let me see if I can do this here. Okay, cool. Thank you, TC Drone as well. Let me. And TC, I'm going to try to do this without showing too much. There we go. So this is a Viaggio. Stay. You want to say hi, honey? she's been sick for a while, so she's not interested in and being on camera. Let's see here. Present, share screen. I am really off my game. It's like I haven't done this in years. All right. So this is a show special, subtotal 187, 324 for a Viaggio 5-star Marine with a, what's this have, a 400 Verado, $50,000 engine, 150,000. So what is that? $37,000 discount. Options, 40,000 on discounts. That's all in, less registration and sales tax, whatever sales tax is in Georgia. Munson Marine. So let's see what this is. A South Bay, 22-foot South Bay with the 150. I'm assuming that E3 is a tri-tune package. So that's a $92,000 MSRP down to $69,900, so down to $70,000, so about $20,000 off on that one. That's a pretty good chunk. Nautique, that's crazy. I remember I worked the Charlotte Boat Show with a Nautique dealer that just wanted me to help at the boat show. It was the first year the MSRP went over 200,000. So he was freaking out that the MSRP was gonna, it was like 201 on the boats. They were still selling them for like 179 or whatever the discount is. He's like, I don't know how people are gonna react. And now this is probably a G. I don't even know if this. Yeah, that's a Paragon, I think. So 293, and now the retail is 207. 86.5 off of retail on a 2023 model. Let's see here. Thank you for sending this, TC. This is awesome. And Michaela, I'm gonna get to you when it comes in. It just hadn't come into my email. What is this? A Bennington 23 RX. So RX is on their higher level, not quite to the Q. MSRP 173, 131. So $42,000 in savings. What's that got us? Max 352, and that's with the Yamaha 250 and a tri-tune. Awesome. Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate you sharing it. And let's see. Let me stop sharing. And I'm doing this because I'm pulling up my actual email address, and there's some stuff that people may not want shared. Michaela, I'm not seeing that email yet, so I would love to see it, and I would love to, if it's okay with you guys, feature it in the in my newsletter. But anyway, I'll be on the lookout for it. I'll keep looking for it so I can show it. All right, here. Hit the like button. Thank you, Ray. Always appreciate that. Sustainability, Bennington. Now, hey, now it's, you're on the bad side is your trade. You're not going to be happy with the number you get on that. On the positive side is the discount you get on the new one will be significant. So that the sustainability bought a Bennington Q. Is this your second year? I think this is your third year. Maybe he's going into his third season. Bennington Q with a 400 on it. A little late getting on. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome, Dave. Good to have you. Brock, good to have you. Happy New Year to you guys. I think he won both of his groups, and I think he's taken some time off. I don't remember if everything worked out on the last bass boat he was looking at, or if he's still shopping. So I would love to hear an update on that, because I don't remember. Thanks, Zan. Sorry you're in the wrong place. let's see here. Nope, not yet. Second weekend in February kicks off my fishing club tournaments. Open Thursday, working man's tournament March 30th. Still don't have the boat yet. Hey, you got a couple months. You got a couple months still. Not fluent with hydrogen power, but I did test drive hydrogen power semi a few months ago. It's a bunch of questions. Learned it was hydrogen powered running electric motors. Interesting. Okay, so instead of having to power up, my biggest takeaway of the hydrogen truck, 10,000 pounds heavier than a traditional diesel powered truck. Okay. So, well, that's tough then, because a diesel outboard is a couple hundred pounds heavier than a gas outboard. I don't know how they compare, because on electric, you got to kind of compare the engine and the battery. The gas, you've got to compare the engine and the fuel, although that goes down, so it fluctuates. On the hydrogen, being, I don't know how much a big semi truck engine weighs, but 10,000 pounds is like a lot, even if it's 10-20%. That's a lot of, that's a lot of weight, a lot of extra weight. So, that's interesting. I didn't hear anything. I don't know anything about the hydrogen outboard. I just saw that release, and it may have been Dave or sustainability that brought it to my attention. Yamaha reworked V8 350. That's what's debuting. The old 350 had a good bit of harmonic issues with their flywheels over the years. Interesting. Yeah, so Yamaha. One thing about Yamaha is Mercury is always innovating, and they're always trying to be faster and have better performance. That's kind of their driving force. Yamaha is like, hey, we know we got to make it reliable. 350, we know it's going to perform solid, but we want that thing to be reliable. So most of their innovation comes with reliability improvements for the most part. That's kind of their driving force. And they'll always be a couple of years behind on the new technological advances like digital steering. That's why they didn't go to joystick. Mercury beat them to joystick because Mercury went digital first. And then you can't do joystick controlling if you've got cable steering, cable shift. So you've got to go all digital, and now you can do joystick because now it can be run by computer. That's sort of always been their driving force as well. So should be there any second. Let's take a look here. There we go. All right. So let's take a look on the water. Boat's put away. The boat's tucked away. So looking good. Let's see here where I'm at. Here, share screen. Boom. That's the engagement photo. Jason, I got a feeling you'll appreciate this. For my wife for Christmas, got her tickets to George Strait and Chris Stapleton show that's coming up this spring, early summer in Charlotte. So that's awesome. Congratulations, guys. I don't know if the photos, like this was the engagement or the wedding was at the lake, but or if this was just a photo at the lake. So but either way, congratulations. That is awesome. I love the cowboy boots for the wedding. That's fantastic. We had my family's always been, we grew up in Nebraska. We didn't grow up on a farm or anything, but country music has always been a big part of our lives. So when my parents had their 25th anniversary when I was in college, we got a barn with a bunch of hay bales and did a bunch of two-stepping that night. That was a good weekend. So, all right, what else has everybody got? We got a little bit in the news, wedding at the lake. There we go. That is perfect. My wife and I almost got married at, I don't know if Brian Boyles is on here, but we almost got married at no, not Somerset Lake. That's in Kentucky. Yeah, maybe it was Somerset in West Virginia, and they had a big houseboat that we were going to rent. But it was then we found another place that was an old 4-H camp that rented out, had a bunch of buildings that were more our speed, and an old 4-H camp that they actually had livestock in the barns not too far off, and it was about a quarter of the price too, so that fit our budget much better. So congratulations, guys. That is very cool. It's been said the only stupid question is one that didn't ask. So has anyone experimented with a propane boat engine? So I don't think well, not that I know of. Not that I know of. Now that I say that, there's something that's popping into my head. Propane boat engine. Tahatsu. There we go. So Tahatsu, it looks like, has a propane outboard, 5 horsepower. Let's see if they go anything more than 5. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I remember seeing something about for dinghies that it was nice and easy because on a dinghy you don't have to have that big heavy battery. You just have a small canister of propane and hook it up and be ready for a small dinghy, small outboard that you're probably pulling that motor off each time and putting it away for safekeeping, and then you don't have to worry about the battery or leaving a battery in a dinghy that corrosion and all that sort of stuff's going to happen. But I don't know anything about them, and that looks like the only one. Oh, you guys can't see the skin. What am I doing? I gotta. There we go. All right, Mercury's got a 4-stroke propane 5, so it looks like 5 horsepower is the deal on the propane. So see if there's anybody else. Lear has one as well. Yeah, so it looks like there's a couple out there. Propane outboard. Let's see what West Marine has to say about it. Nope, they're just tricking us into going to their site. So anyway, there you go. TC, even the Formula MSRP 750, boat show price down to 600. Yeah, that is. It is. It seems to be. It seems to be happening all over, and that's I need to get to a boat show so I can do that. So I appreciate you sharing some of those price points. Power yacht board, yeah, exactly, and your grill. This is Jason and I know average semi 17. Oh yeah, that's right. You know about some of this stuff. 17,000, 19,000 pounds. Hydrogen adds 10, 50%. Yeah, that's a lot of weight on a boat, and especially on the back, on an outboard where it's hanging on the very. Yeah, my boat's all tucked away back in there. It's all that weight is back here, and and this is going to be counterproductive in your performance and getting up on planes. So, yeah, that could be why. That could be one of the big inhibitors to it. Might be an application that makes sense. Yeah, there's certainly and I ran these. I ran these at Darren Cox or Ox. Let me see here. I ran the diesel outboards down at Ibex. I guess it's been almost 2.5 years ago now, down in Tampa, and they were they were significantly heavier, significantly more expensive than the gas outboards. But because of the longevity, the durability of them for the commercial boats that, they'll put 1,000 hours on in a year. Some of the commercial guys that, if you're running a ferry, if you're running, you're running some charters, or you're running some actual work boats that they will have to repower every year or two, because the outboards just they can't afford to have these boats break down, so they maintain them to the hilt, but they repower them when they hit 2,000, 3,000 hours. And they they would rather go with the diesel, because the diesel is also going to be able to push more. If it's a tug or a ferry or a towboat, those diesels are going to be able to handle that load better than some of the gas engines. So it was, dang it. I think it was the Cox that I ran. Should remember that. Going into my third year with QX, first 2 years with the 5, 7-year-old girls worth it. Yeah, exactly that. And I remember the first market update video I did during COVID. And here, this is what I said. And I think sustainability, you may have found me around that time. It's like, listen, boat prices are going to are going to adjust. I don't think they're going to like go lower than what they were 3 years ago. Like, I don't think we're going to start seeing that. But they were going up, 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 and now they're going bound to come about even. So yes, you could have not paid that price, but you would have missed the years with your kids. And if you saw that one, when I started this, she was 6, 7 years old, and now she's 10. If you lose out on all those memories with kids that age, you don't get them back. You don't get a redo. And so if you have the capacity, if you have the resources, buying a boat can be a great decision for the family. It's not a financial investment, but it's not now either. Even with the biggest discount, best deal on a boat, it's not a financial investment. It's an investment in your family and your relationships. And I think that's an important distinction for that non-boaters don't always get. So anyway, what are they asking? The QX is Chicago show. DC, if you know what the QX was with the 400 Merc at the show. I mean, let me go back to his email here. And what was, I mean, so we know R. We'll just do some. So the R with a 250 is 131. So I think it goes now RQ. So you add another, what are they? 16,000 upgrade. So add another 20 to that, to the 400, maybe more. So another 20. Let's say add another 15 to 20 because of the R to the Q, the RX SB. And so we'll say 15, so that's 35. So add 35 to that, you're at 160, 165, somewhere around there would be my gut. Just kind of knowing where the bump ups are. Now, one of the things is a lot of the dealers upgraded a little bit too much on some of the boats. That's part of their problem. But so that would be my gut. I don't know what you paid sustainability. You don't have to share it if you don't want, but it's my guess is it was close to that, if not less, back then. So anyway, yes, clocked at 26K, average diesel truck around 16. Yeah. Okay, here we go. 28 QX 30, 31, 314 with a 600. Yeah, that's crazy. 300,000 for a pontoon. Now, granted, 28 feet, 600 horsepower. I mean, that's a machine. But you would have told me 5 years ago, you would have told me when I was selling boats that there would be a $300,000 28-foot pontoon with a 600. I wouldn't have believed you on a number of fronts that there was a 300,000 or that there was a 600. That's nuts. Adler Sportsman has been one of the best. Yeah, best purchases made in the last 2 years. Love going the bass boat. She was smaller. Kids in the Ranger no longer able to take the whole family out. Yeah, there. It's just it's time with the family, and that is something that every day that goes by, they get older, and it's just the memory, the chance to make that memory is gone. You can make them other ways for sure. Boating's not for everybody, but to me, the boating memories that I've made with the kids is, I mean, it's why I do this. It's why I do this, and I think why a lot of you guys are here is either you were fortunate to have the memories, or this is one of my. Let's see if I can play it. This is a good ride. So we talked about boating industry. Let's see here. There we go. A good run. So we talked about the boat industry, uh, Discover Boating, and their. If you've never watched this video, go Google it. It's called "Good Run: A Boating Story," and I don't know. We'll see how well the video plays. But this is one of my favorite because it's my life. Now I'm not 80 years old yet, but it will be my life. Amazing how boats have changed. Jason, this is you guys getting married at the lake. Hey, I love that. That came out. Oh man, that thing. Well, this is 11 years ago. That came out when I was selling boats, and it to me it just perfectly captures. I think they did an awesome job. I can't believe that they haven't run that a little bit more. But they're trying to get new people in. They're trying to get new people into the industry. That resonates with me because I was that 5-year-old kid that will, when I'm 90, that I'll look back on all of those memories of being a kid back, helping my dad back the trailer in. It just that hit home with that hits home with me still. I've watched that thing probably 100 times. But anyway, sorry. Thanks for indulging me in that uh, in that one. So, all right. So, Jack to Holland. What are some uh, con of renting out a boat, peer to peer platform, getting a second boat to rent? Um, there's a couple. Is one is you got to deal with people that don't know how to operate boats. You can do things up front. Like I know a guy that rents it out with his house, with his lake house, and you've got to have a conversation with him about your boating experience. He meets you at the boat and like, hey, show me how you operate it. Show me what you think you know, and then he'll either help him out or say, no, I can't rent it to you, or all right, here you go, you're good to go. Um, Expect that your boat's going to get damaged. It's going to get run into the dock. It's going to get the prop's going to get dinged up. The skeg's going to get broken off. If it's a pontoon, the corner caps are going to get busted. The front pontoon's going to get jacked up against the dock or run up on a rock on a sandy beach. That just know that stuff's going to happen. The one that I think you've got to be smart about is you're putting somebody out there on a potentially dangerous toy. And so just taking that responsibility serious of it's not just a business, but it's also a responsibility to not put somebody unsafe, unqualified, irresponsible out there on the water in your boat. Now, somebody else chooses to do it, okay, but I don't want that on me. That's something they take a get my boat um, uh, boat setter. I've used both of those. I've interviewed the VPs at both of those companies, and they're great, but they take a decent percentage on it. And just make sure the finances make sense. Make sure that you kind of pro forma out the reality of how often the boat will get rented, because there's a lot of people that have gotten into the rental business over the last 3 years. Your area, know what the market looks like, how often you can have that boat on the water making you money, and but budget in downtime and budget in repairs, and maintenance, because that's going to be those are probably the biggest ones that I see. And then the third is you've got to either hire somebody or be there to meet them at the boat, mainly Saturday and Sunday, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when most of your rentals are going to be. So you've got to take the time to go meet them. If they break down, if they run out of gas, if they do something stupid, you're the one that's going to be getting the call, maybe while you're out on your boat. For some people, not a big deal. Hey, I'm out there or whatever, whistle over, help them out. For others, be a big pain in the butt. But I know the Bob that he actually bought one of the pontoons that he rented from me, has found it to be very profitable. He's semi-retired. He sold his business, and this is just sort of a semi-retirement thing: rental properties and boat rentals, and he does well with it. But it also fits into his lifestyle. He also lives on the lake, so he can rent it from his lake house. And there's one of his rental properties is right next door, so the logistics of it work well for him. Those would be some of my thoughts on it. Some of my favorite memories growing up with my dad on the river, the old bass tracker. Daughter was instantly hooked when she was 2. Yeah, it's a 3-pound largemouth bass. That's awesome. It is, I've got a picture. One of my favorite pictures is of my youngest, who you just saw there, who's now 5'5" at, in 4th grade. Is, she was born January. So she was maybe 5 months old, in her life jacket, laying on the boat, just giggling. You know, a little teeny baby. Everyone's like, "Oh, my baby will cry if I put him in a life jacket." This kid is like giggling and having a ball. She loved it. She loved to be on the boat, and this is at months old. My oldest was born in June, and so she was on the boat in, like, I want to say July or August. We went to the Lake of the Ozarks, and she was on the boat then. You know, my kids will always have boating memories, and just like Brock, I've got mine from when I was 5, and then you've got, you know, the first time my daughter got up on the wakeboard. Um, it was awesome. The first time they do anything out there. I've got some pictures of, um, we were at the ski show on Lake Wiley, and she was probably, my oldest was 2, because we didn't have, maybe she was 3. Emery might have been, my youngest might have been there, but just jumping off the back of the boat when we were at the ski show, sun was going down, weather was perfect. I mean, I've got thousands of pictures of that day, and I will always remember her jumping into my arms and, "Daddy, catch me, Daddy, catch me, Daddy, watch this, Daddy, watch this." And it's tough to beat. It's real tough to beat. Majority of the weight was due to the batteries. Another downside of hydrogen is it takes extremely large cooling system to not overheat. Interesting. All right, what you got? I'm going to be done here soon. So,
good.
Okay. All right.
She's in the early because I said so.
Beat it, Skippy. Come on.
You have 30 minutes.
All right. I probably won't even go that long. All right. Love you. Shut the door, please. Yeah, I didn't realize that the hydrogen was just powering battery power. That's interesting. Old boat that my dad already had a ton of memories. Tournament fishing when I was a teenager. Yeah, that's another thing. If you get the boat passed down, that you've got all those memories, and then you end up with that boat as an adult, that's pretty cool. Or the boat that you have memories on, that you're now boating with another generation, is pretty cool. When we went to the Ozarks, the friends of us that got us into going to the Lake of the Ozarks had a 19-foot Bonanza tri-hull, with I think it had a Mercruiser in it, but we ran that boat for like 25 years. A whole bunch of us, probably I bet 15, 20 of us kids learned to ski behind that thing, and at the Ozarks. And when the boat finally got hauled out and it was just done, and we took a picture with probably 12 of us that had grown up on that boat. And in that boat, we're all 25, 30 years old kids, and that was a pretty cool thing to haul that boat out one last time. They got a fair price of base what you said. 8.5 beam, swing back, power arch, 10-foot beam is much. Yeah, for sure. $685,000 engine. Yeah, that they add up for sure. Really what it did is how the owner finally quit. Wife surprised me with the Ranger. Yeah, I had a guy that reached out to me over Christmas saying, "I found my family's old boat. It's for sale. I think I can get it for free. Should I do it?" And I was like, "Listen, I'm going to give you 2 answers. One, financially, absolutely not. You're gonna put way more money in that boat to get it back up and running, than what you can ever sell it for." My second answer is absolutely. If you've got the money to invest in it, and the nostalgia of it, of having a boat, you can maintain it, you can keep it in good, you can restore it and keep it in good condition and continue to run it. And like, if those memories are that valuable for you, then absolutely. But don't redoing it thinking, "Oh, I can run it for a couple of years and then sell it and probably break even," because that's not true at all. But if you've got a place to keep it, you got the financial resources to restore it, to do it, then it's a great memory. But some pictures and telling stories about it are really close. And you will tell the old stories, and you will talk about that old boat. Getting rid of at least 3 or 4 times a year. Yeah. Yeah, it's something that will always come up. I mean, we talk about my family's, all of our boats have different memories because of the different phases. Our first one, our orange Larson Tri-Hull with a bright orange stripe around the edge, 85 Mercury or Mercury two stroke, and that's what all of us kids learned to ski on, ski doubles on, and that was our entry into boating when we were, I was probably 12 or 13. We got an 18-foot Thompson. That's the boat I learned to slalom behind that boat, like when we first got it. My brother and I learned to barefoot behind that boat. That's the boat my parents let me keep at the marina that I worked at in college. Then we moved up to a 22 Crown Line, and that's when we were starting to get into our early 20s and all those memories with our college friends and friends when we were, turning into adults. Then we moved to the pontoons, and all those memories. Now the memories with our kids, it's tough. Really do miss running it too. That is another one, is the nostalgia of the smells and the sounds and all of that, the speed that crown, the 22 Crown Line we had. I would put it on the trailer. My brother would back the trailer down, and I would always take that boat out of the channel at the Ozarks when we took it out for the week. And I would just me and an almost empty tank of gas. Dad liked to pull it home empty. And I would have that baby trimmed up. The rev limiter would beep once or twice while I was out there. And that thing would go 50, 51, just running. And I'll never forget the music I was playing. We did it on a Saturday or Sunday morning, and the lake was perfectly calm before anybody got out there. And I'll always have those memories. Would you say catamarans are the best boats inshore, offshore chartering? I don't have any idea. Digital 10G. It depends on who you're chartering to, where you're at. I don't know that they would be the best. If they're like down in the Bahamas, I know they charter a bunch of catamarans because they have less draft. They're easier. There's some advantages to them. But there's too many questions I would have for you to give you an answer on that. BC Outdoor, welcome. Another longtime subscriber. So, all right, we've been an hour and 15. I'm getting my sea legs back to doing the lives. I got to figure out why my screens are going out. And thank you guys very much for joining me. Appreciate it. Jason, Michaela, congratulations again. And it was fun to get back on here. Same way, used to rip that up and down the 75, 80. Yeah, I was just going 50 in a bow rider, man. That is ripping. Going 50 on a boat is fast. Going 75 or 80, I've never done it, but that's screaming. That is screaming on every Thursday night. That's awesome. I think that's a good place to end. Thank you guys very much. Happy New Year. We'll be back on a regular schedule now that we're through the holidays, and we will catch you guys next Sunday. Take care, everybody.